Hello ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Outer Rim Cantina. My name's Alan, and today I'm here to talk about Rey Skywalker, and yes, that is her name since episode 9, and how she is not the new Chosen One, nor does she replace Anakin as the person who fulfills the prophecy of the Chosen One. I've seen a lot of discourse online since the release of The Rise of Skywalker, where people seem to have the idea that Rey has replaced Anakin as the Chosen One in canon, and nullifies all of his sacrifices throughout the saga. That simply isn't true at all, and anyone who believes something as stupid as that clearly hasn't paid attention to the movies and doesn't know anything about the fundamentals of the Force. Prophecies are discussed heavily in the novel Master and Apprentice, and have been brought up in other stories such as Dooku Jedi Lost. Along the way, we learn that the balance that the Chosen One was supposed to bring was never meant to be permanent. The Force is an ever-changing web of energy binding an entire galaxy and universe together. It has its own will and is just as alive as any other being in the galaxy. No one truly controls the Force, and it can't be controlled, it can only be listened to. In canon, prophecies themselves are something to be extremely wary of, as they never have clear messages and are not easy to interpret. Out of universe, however, we know for a fact, as stated by Lucasfilm, that the prophecy of the Chosen One was fulfilled by Anakin Skywalker. But the balance the prophecy spoke of was never supposed to be permanent. Because the Force is alive and ever-changing, it knows when and how it needs to be brought back into balance. There cannot be light without dark, and there cannot be dark without light. When one force becomes stronger than the other, like the darkness that swept the galaxy after Ben Solo fell and Luke Skywalker disappeared, the Force needed correcting, so the Force chose Rey to be the light that would balance out Kylo Ren's dark. Not everything that happens with Force users, or even non-Force users for that matter, needs to be predicted by a prophecy first. The time of Anakin Skywalker and the Chosen One has passed. Now the Force needs balancing again. I really don't understand why this is such a hard concept for people to grasp. It just seems like they're so against Disney and anything sequel trilogy related that they just forget or ignore the fundamental aspects of this universe that have been established. They like to preach how The Last Jedi broke all the rules of Star Wars and destroyed the lore, but I really don't think they know what that means. They like to assign rules and limitations to a magical power that is responsible for literally all life in the universe. That makes no sense. It has been stated so many times before in both canon and legends that the Force is limitless. It can do literally anything it wants to, and sure, people can try and control it and use that power for their own gain, but it just ends up eating them away and causes them eternal suffering. The Force is omnipotent. It can't be controlled like the dark side tries to teach. It can only be listened to and used to guide your actions like the light side teaches. But attempting to assign rules to something as powerful as the Force just doesn't work. The Force is limitless because it needs to be for the story. If you don't have limits on the magical power, it can serve whatever purpose it needs to for whatever story you're trying to tell. I don't get why it's so hard for people to grasp that the Force is its own being and not controlled by any individual in the galaxy. The Force chose Rey to restore its shifted balance. Does that mean Rey suddenly becomes the Chosen One of some ancient prophecy? No, because we already know that that prophecy has been fulfilled. Lucasfilm is not trying to replace Anakin Skywalker and has never once said or even alluded to Rey being the one to fulfill the Chosen One prophecy. People need to look past their jaded view of the movies, even if they don't like them, and look at what is actually said, done, and taught, because most of this stuff is explained in the movie, just not as bluntly as people want. Star Wars has never been straightforward. There has always been a deeper meaning and message to every story that is told, and each new story evolves the Force in some way. Stop trying to assign rules to something that is quite literally beyond human comprehension, and just enjoy these stories for what they are. That's really all I have to say about this. Rey Skywalker is not the new Chosen One. She never has been or ever will be. She is simply an extension of the Force's will to restore its shifted balance. Lucasfilm is not trying to replace Anakin or diminish his sacrifices. People need to get over themselves and look past what's on the surface of these films. As always though, I would love to know your opinion down in the comments. If you enjoyed this video, I would really appreciate it if you dropped a like, as those really do help a small channel like this, and consider subscribing if you want to see more Outer Rim Cantina content in your feeds every week. That's all the time I've got for today. I hope to see you back here on Saturday for another Star Wars video. Until then, may the Force be with you.